All right.
Oh,
Good evening, everybody. Good evening to you. Good evening to you. Welcome one more time, another great time, if you will, to Music Lovers LTD featuring the cast. But we have the goddess, and I'm going to say that again because I know somebody's going to say, "What did he say?" The goddess of soul. Let me say it again so we can be perfectly clear and understand each other. The goddess of soul, Miss Martha Hyde. Give her a nice round of applause for joining us
yeah.
this evening. Good evening, my dear. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. It
Good
is so
evening.
it
Good
is so good to
evening.
have you here. And we're talking. You're in Netherlands, and it's what 3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, we're
Yes.
not gonna hold you long. We're gonna get right on in there.
Sure. Okay. All right. I'm very happy to be here,
And
to be with you all this evening.
we are so
Yeah.
happy to have you. We really are. As I said to you while we were off camera, and everybody else is going to introduce themselves and come in a little later. Your story is one that almost like a fairy tale, and I
Mhm.
say that from this side of the fence, being in the musical business, looking at you, and ladies and gentlemen, this young lady is 80 plus years old, and she is
Well,
on stage now. Am I wrong?
I'm 80. I'll have another birthday in January.
And then you'll be 80.
I will be, no, I'm 80 now.
Okay.
Oh,
So
I'm
so
you don't
I'm
80.
look
good.
it.
So I'm good when I say 80 plus then. I'm all right when I
Well,
say
yeah, 80 plus. Yeah, that will be sufficient. Yes.
okay, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, she's 80 plus in the business now, still working and killing people every place she goes to work. That is an amazing thing. Let's talk about that if you will. Um, Martha, from
Yeah,
Victoria, Virginia, to the
that's right.
Netherlands. Give us a brief synopsis of how you got to be who you are and how you are.
Okay, well, the beginning of my career started when I was going to Roosevelt High. I was born in Victoria, Virginia, but I was raised in Washington, D.C. And
Okay.
during my high school years, I met the girls, the four jewels. We went to Roosevelt High School together. And that was my first part of starting a career of music, singing. Although I had did some different stuff, before that. Had another group with Zeola Gay, Marvin Gaye's sister, and
Mm-hmm.
Yvonne Smith. We had a little trio together, but really did nothing to measure up to anything. But joining the Four Jewels, that's when I was able to start working as a professional singer. And in 1960, 1966, we joined the Godfather of Soul, Mr. James Brown, and traveled all over the world with him. And the Jewels decided to leave in about a year and a half after joining Mr. Brown. But I wanted to stay, so I went to Mr. Brown and asked Mr. Brown, the girls are leaving, and I'd like to stay and work with you. He said, "Miss Hyde, you can stay. I'm fine. It's fine." So so, so I end up staying with him, and the rest is like 30 some years of being with Mr. Brown, traveling with him, recording with him. Um, then I met this gentleman here in the Netherlands about 30 years ago. We were the best of friends through the years, and 3 years ago he asked me to marry him. And I, of course, said yes. Here I am in the Netherlands. I love living here. It's beautiful. It's a different life in the States. I think it's a little more slower and a little more um, positive in a way of getting things done. And everyone here speaks English. I don't have to worry about learning the language. It's Dutch language is very, very hard to learn. It's not easy. And
Okay.
The only thing that I don't like about the Netherlands is, of course, the weather.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
it,
Mm,
it doesn't get hot enough for me in the summer. As a matter of fact, these last week or so, it's been like maybe around the um, high 60s, 70s, and that's about it. But we've
Okay.
had some warmer days, but it's not like a continuous snow.
Okay.
It's,
Okay.
it's not like the States. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But other than that, I love it. I love it's a lot of history here in Europe, period. And
Okay.
that's one of the things that I enjoy living in the Netherlands. I'm a castle freak. I love to visit castles that was built centuries ago. And
Oh,
they actually have 1,200 castles in
wow.
Holland. Yes.
Wow.
And
Really?
I've seen about 12. So I have a lot to do.
Okay.
I've been to about 12 and I'm looking forward to visiting some more. But there's so much history uh, in and around Holland and all over Europe, of course,
Okay.
the
Okay.
centuries back, yes.
Okay. All right. Well,
Mhm.
I'm going to step back and allow the gang to come on in and start talking to you. Let's start off
Sure.
with Restful Spirit. Restful, come on in, babe.
yes. Hi, Miss Martha.
Hello,
My name is Restful
Restful.
Spirit. How are you? That's my
I'm
aunt's
good.
name too, Martha.
Uh-huh.
Listen, I want to piggyback on what you were saying with James Brown when you asked him, could you stay with the group? And he agreed, but he required a name change. So, what was the significance of changing your last name from Harvin to High?
Well, going on the stage, he told me, he called me into his dressing room one night and said, is that, no, he didn't say Miss High. He said, Father, I don't think Harlan is a good name for a stage. And I said, oh, yeah. Let me see, let me see. I know. I'm going to call you Miss High. Miss High. Martha High. How you like that? I said, okay, that's fine with me if that's what you want to call me. And there it is. I've been Martha High ever since.
Okay.
And that happened. I guess around about about 1970, 71 or something like that. He started calling me Martha High.
That's
Okay.
awesome. Good
Yeah.
question. Good question, Russell. Good question. Come on in, Drew.
Hey, Martha, it's good to meet you. I'm Drew.
Yes, Drew. Very nice to meet you.
Likewise, man. You say you began your singing career singing gospel in the Washington, D.C. area, and one of the groups that you performed with or competed against was a gospel group called the Marquis that had one Marvin Gaye in the group. So,
No, no. Marvin Gaye was Zeola Gay's brother. Zeola
right.
Gay and I sang together. I never sang with Marvin Gaye.
Okay, but he was in a gospel group from what I understand in that D.C. Did
Yeah,
your parents ever cross?
yes. We sang gospel as well as secular music then.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yes. And uh, Ciola Gay and the other young lady, Yvonne Smith, we all went to Roosevelt High School. That's how we met each other. And we just decided to, that we wanted to try to sing a little bit because the Four Jewels was going to Roosevelt School as well. And we were sort of like friends with them. And we wanted to start our own group. So we did. And eventually, one of the young ladies left the Jewels. Her name was Carrie Mingo, and
Mhm.
they were looking for another girl. I had met Bo Diddley during the time when I started singing. We used to go to his studio in Washington D.C. In the northwest area.
Mhm.
And he's the one that told me that the Jewels were auditioning for another young lady, and he felt that I should try. And I said, "Oh no, I don't think so. I don't think I'm good enough because the Jewels had a couple of hits out already around Washington D.C. in the area."
Right. Right.
And yeah, so he told me he think that I should audition for them, and I was kind of nervous, but I did, and I'm glad that I did because they accepted me. And it was, I stayed with them. I started singing with them in 1962.
Okay.
Oh,
Of
wow.
course,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
in 1960, 66, that's when we joined James Brown, Mr.
Okay.
Brown.
Cool.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Mhm.
Good question, Drew. Come on in, Professor.
Good evening, Miss Martha. It's a pleasure to have you with
Good
us.
evening. Good evening. It's nice to
And
be here.
and I must say, 80, whatever you're drinking, eating, bottle it up and sell it. Send it over here to Philly. I'm in Philadelphia. I
All right.
Absolutely.
I'll tell Allie to give you my address.
Well,
I will start taking it post haste.
it's just good, healthy food and rest and prayers. Just it's just a natural thing that you would do.
Yeah.
Just
And
yeah.
and as I was looking at some things regarding you and your career, the pictures that I seen as in the one behind me, your look kind of reminds me of Lettucey a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, I think you favor her. Y'all could be cousins or something.
Oh,
Mm.
okay. Well, I was told at one time that I look like someone from your hometown, from Philadelphia. They told me that at one time I looked like Patti LaBelle,
Daddy.
and I
Yeah,
said,
a
"Wow, what a
little bit.
compliment!"
I can see it, but for now, I
Mhm.
see the Lettucey vibe.
Oh, okay, that's a good thing too. She's beautiful.
Yes, and so are you.
Well, thank
Um,
you.
my question would be, how would you advise young artists to move in this industry today?
Wow.
Good
Yeah,
question.
and
That's a good question.
that is a good question because the music business has changed
Yes, it has.
tremendously.
Yes, it has.
And I cannot. Sometimes I have a problem with connecting their music with our music from the past
Mm-hmm.
because it's so different. But I can say that if that's what you want to do, if you want to be involved with music, become a singer, a musician, or anything like that, I think that um, it's you stick with it, you get as much information as you can as far as the business is concerned on the business side, and you stick with what you really believe in and what you really want to do. And I think that and make sure that you get good management. I don't think it's that easy, but you can, if you really take your time and understand that there are people out there that would take advantage of you, but you have to work with someone or have someone to basically guide you in the business aspects of it.
Good advice. Good advice.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
good question, Professor. We've talked to many different artists, and their answers, sort of after it's all boiled down, are pretty
Mhm.
much close to what you basically said. And all
Yes.
of them have admitted that the musical industry has changed so much
Ooh,
from what you're used to and what
yes,
you came up in versus the way it is now. There were
exactly.
no billionaire one-hit wonders back in your time.
No, it
Now,
wasn't.
you know what I'm saying? Now they
Mhm.
just have a song and they're millionaires. So
Yeah,
it does create a different way of investigating and proceeding. But the bottom line is you got to have good people in your corner if you can
you have
find them.
to.
You got to
That's
have
right.
good legal representation if you can find
Mhm.
them. But I
Mhm.
think over top of this, and Sammy Strain, who sang with Little Anthony and the Imperials, and the OJs, we had him on last week. He said the
Oh,
same thing. What you've
yes,
got to do is be focused on the direction that you're going in and stay with
exactly.
that because you can
Exactly.
get swayed, side to side, especially more now than you can any other time, I think, with the money situation.
Yes, and the music is so different as it was, because in the past, the lyrics meant something. The lyrics
Yeah,
had a message and everything. I can't really say that about a lot of the music today, because it's, I don't know, but anyway, that's what it is, and but I think that there are a few people that still know how to really capture the feelings that we used to get then. Some music you just can't, I don't know where it's going, you know?
well, one of the things that's missing, and it's unfortunate by the way it is that we don't have writers that write the music. That Curtis Mayfield was a great writer. Okay, people like
So,
that, and I mean we could go on with
yes.
more and more, but we don't have those folks any around. One of my and I, the professor and Restful and Drew will agree. One of our favorite albums ever
Mhm.
was the
Mhm.
movie Claudine. Look how that was written. And it just
Yeah,
stays around because it was great writing, and great writing creates great lyrics. Great lyrics create from a great singer. The music just hangs around.
I totally agree. You're absolutely right. And that's why we every day listen to the old school music, and it feels like it just was written or just recorded the day before or something like that. It just has that stamina, that will keep your ears open, and the music, and it's just beautiful.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right. If you would share a great moment or a nice moment with your friend who is gone, Miss Lynn Collins.
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Lynn Collins, when she joined the show, her and I just really hit it off. We became like sisters, and she actually lived with me for about a year and a half before she passed.
Okay,
Mm.
Yeah, yes, and we had wonderful times on the show with Mr. Brown, and even had a better time when after she had left, and I had uh, I no, I hadn't really left, but I had taken a few times off here and there, and her
okay,
and I had worked together as doing our own show here in Europe, and we also did some shows with Bobby Bird and Vicki Anderson, traveling with them over here, and it was just a wonderful time just being together without being around Mr. Brown, because Mr. Brown was very strict. Was very strict
Well,
with everybody.
don't worry,
But
we're
We
coming to that.
know.
We're coming to that
We,
point. Don't
yeah,
worry, we're coming.
so we all was able to just really enjoy each other and laugh and talk and everything like that, and it was just a wonderful experience. But she's always in my heart. She was, like I said, like a sister to me, and
Okay. I
um
had the
and
opportunity. I had the opportunity to meet her once when
yeah,
she performed at the Trenton War Memorial Building, and that's where I met James Brown. But we'll talk about that in a few minutes. And I don't want to
sure.
take up all the time, but let's start with the James Brown thing. Now, I met him. I had the opportunity to meet him and talk to him, and it's that. Let me tell you my story, and then we're going to yours. I was
Okay.
working at WTNJ radio station in Trenton, New Jersey, and
Hmm.
he was performing at the War Memorial Building in Trenton. I was on the air on Saturday afternoon. The song was, and I don't know why it never got as much airplay as I thought it should. The song is It's a New Day, one of my
Um,
all time favorite songs by James Brown. All time.
okay.
So this was a time that I was on Saturday afternoon, and the disc jockeys could back the song up 6 and 7 times, and nobody cared. Well, this day I backed the song up 6 times. I was in a zone, completely in a zone. Okay,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
James Brown was walking around on the Trenton Commons, and you remember in those days, the radio stations and the record shops used to have speakers out front, so people would
Exactly.
walk, dance, and what have you. So people were dancing to the song, and I just kept backing it up, kept backing it up. So James said, "Where's that coming from?" And they
Uh-huh.
told him from here. So he came into the studio, and
Uh-huh.
we met, we laughed, we talked. He took out of his pocket 10 $100 bills, put them on
Uh-huh.
the console, and said to me, "I want you to come work for me." This is when he had those stations in Atlanta.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I told
Uh-huh.
him I was gracious. Of course, I took the money first before I said anything. But I was very gracious, and I said I couldn't go because I was in the service. I was still in. I
Uh-huh.
was in the Air Force, so I couldn't go. But we became friends until his demise. Now that's
Oh,
my story with James Brown. I understand that even when you talk about him, you keep calling him Mr. Brown. And I
that's right.
noticed that everybody close to Fred, I don't know if Fred still calls him Mr. Brown. He
Yeah.
calls him James because we've
Yeah.
had Fred on a couple of times and Fred
Yeah.
just calls him James. Tell us about the situation where you still call him Mr. Brown and some of the stories that you can share with us.
Well, once he gave me the name Hi, it was never Martha. He never called. I honestly, I don't remember Mr. Brown calling me Martha. Maybe a few times. Yes, a few times he called me Martha, but it was always Miss Hyde. And
Okay.
he addressed the other ladies as Miss, whatever their names are, and the fellas, Mr. So and so, Mr. This and Mr. That. And it was just a common thing that we if some now I remember I was with Mr. Brown because I traveled with him a lot. I also became his hairstylist for a while. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, and I had to travel with him all the time. Can you imagine traveling with your boss all the time? It's always and so I remember we were coming into this hall to play to do a show, and this gentleman that was standing on the side and waiting for us to come by, he said, "Martha, how are you?" And Mr. Brown turned around and he said, uh, "Son, you know her?" And he said, "Sir," he said, "You know her. Do you know her?" And he said, well, no, sir. He said, "Well, that's right. Don't call her Martha no more. You don't know her. Her name is Miss Hyde. Martha Hyde." God said, "Yes, sir." He said, "So what is her name?" He said, "Miss Hyde, how you doing? Nice to see you." And he said, "That's right." And then we just went on, then we walked on down the hall. But no, you had to address the ladies if you were ever around Mr. Brown. It had to be Miss Hyde, Miss Moore, or whoever it was, what the ladies. But that's that, and that's I called him Mr. I had called him Mr. Brown ever since was with him
Okay.
all those years. I don't ever remember. And he told me one time, "Is that you can call me James? It's all right." I said, "Yes, sir, but Mr. Brown, blah, blah, blah." But I never called him. Mr. Brown. But see, and he, I don't know. It just did another thing. It was always Mr. and Miss, and he was concerned about the way that we dressed. How and the whole time, the entire year, 30 years that I was with Mr. Brown, I did not wear jeans. I couldn't
Okay.
wear I couldn't wear
Okay.
jeans to work. And like I said, I traveled with him extensively because I had to do his hair. I had to when we checked in the hotel, and if we were going to just say the next day we were going to the gig, I had to get up and be at his room uh, the first thing in the morning because I had to roll his hair up, and he used to tell me how he wanted me. When I first started doing his hair, he said, "Miss Anna, I need you to do my hair like this. I want you to put a roller here, roll it down like this. On this side, put it here, here. And the rest go to the back. Can you do that, Miss Anna?" I said, "Well, yes, sir. I believe I can." And I'll tell you, if I did not put that roll, then it was a roller here, and then one had to come right, sort of like right in the middle, right there. And if it didn't come down in the middle of his head, he said, "Take it loose. It's not right. Not right. Take it loose." I said, "Yes, sir. Okay, I'll do that." And I did. One time he told me, he said, I think that he was upset about something. And I came, I came to his room, and he said, "Miss I, you can't do my hair today." I said, "Oh, okay, yes, sir. Well, Mr. Brown, is something wrong? You know, did I set the rollers up wrong or something? No, Miss I, you can't do my hair. And he looked me up and down. And I said, well, okay, all right, if you say so. And I said, can you tell me the reason? Can you give me a reason why? Maybe I can do something about it. He looked me up and down and said, Miss I, you don't have on any silk. I said, sir, you don't have any silk on, Miss I said, well, I looked around like this to see if anybody was listening. I said, can I whisper something in your ear? He said, yeah, go ahead. And I said, Mr. Brown, I have silk underwears. I'm wearing silk underwear. Oh, that's all right. Okay, you can do my hair. What that was all about, I have no idea. I just said, oh, okay. He said, okay, I can do your hair. So I did his hair.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious. I'll tell you, that's great. Russell Spirit, come on in. I know you got something about that.
But no, it says James Brown, he was notorious for his strictness. You know, he really demanded professionalism.
Yeah.
What was it like touring with James Brown as part of the Jewels? Are there any unforgettable moments?
With Mr. Brown, well, our favorite time of being with the Jewels and working with Mr. Brown is when we played the Hollywood Bowl. You know, because I mean, we had heard about the Hollywood Bowl in California, in Hollywood, but never did we ever think that we would ever get a chance to perform there. And that was amazing to us to perform at the Hollywood Bowl with him.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Good
Yeah.
memory. Good memory.
Yes.
Good question there, Russell. Come on in, Drew.
Yes, Miss High. Doing research on you, it came to my attention that you was on stage with James Brown the night Martin Luther King was assassinated and you guys were doing a show in Boston.
No, I'm sorry to cut you off, but a lot of people have mistaken because of Marva Whitney. It was Marva Whitney that was with them, not me.
Oh, you wasn't on stage? Okay.
Yes, that night it was Marva Whitney that was with him. And that was 69 or 70 or something like that.
It was 68. I believe it was the night after Martin Luther King was assassinated. And
yes.
he was on stage that night and they was about to riot. And
yes, absolutely.
he called the crowd. He was commended for that. And I thought I read somewhere that you were on stage with him.
No, somehow it has gotten out that it was me, but it was Marva Whitney that was with him.
Marva Whitney. Okay,
yes.
she's
Yes, absolutely.
Good question. Good factual question there, Drew. Come on in, Professor.
Later in your career, a little later, the name Funky Divas is what you all were called, or whatever. Now, the name Funky Divas has been used by En Vogue. Are they aware of you guys being the Funky Divas, or were they using it to pay homage to you?
I don't know if they knew that we were called the Funky Divas. They should maybe they should have, because we were before them. But I know that their song never gonna get it, never gonna something like that. It has the James Brown music at the beginning, At one time, I even heard the high note, which is moi, the high note on one of the cuts of theirs, where they use the big payback music.
Okay.
So maybe they did know. I don't know.
Okay.
This music business is good question, Professor. That's a real, because that goes into where people are using other people's material, and there's the royalty factor, there's the law factor, there's all kind of factors in there. That's a very good question. Very good question.
Yes.
But and as you said earlier, Martha, and as we all agree, this music business has just really changed from what we knew it from back. And I say we, and I'm including all of us here, because even though we weren't in the business per se, we listened. We listened to the music, and listening to it now is like the first step of telling you that it's different. But with you being a performer, it's totally different for you, and I know you know that.
Yes, yes. But I'm still old school. Because right now, when I'm not doing my solo work, I have started a group called Martha Hyde's Funky Divas in the States, and I
Okay.
also have Martha Hyde and the Funky Divas in Europe. So there's two different groups.
Okay.
But we are paying homage to our soul sisters, Vicki Anderson, Lynn Collins, and Marva Whitney. And we are singing, we're performing their songs, and we're celebrating them. And I think that right now, and there are more groups that are doing, but I doing what we're doing. But I don't really know too many uh, female singers that's doing a lot of funk.
Right.
So, we consider Marva Whitney, Lynn Collins, and Vicki Anderson's music really funky because of the Godfather of Soul, and their songs are really funky.
Right.
So
Right.
this is what we're doing now.
Right. Okay. Okay. I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know what your schedule is, but videos are one thing. But I would certainly love the opportunity to see you in action personally. I would love that opportunity, because I've always been a big fan of James Brown, and his umbrella covers so many people that came out from him. You know what I mean? Remember,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken, when I met him was St. Charles. Is it St. Charles or Sir Charles? Which one is
Sweet
Sweet
Charles.
Charles? That's it.
Yeah,
Sweet Charles.
Sweet Charles.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There's so many, he's got so many tentacles that comes under the James Brown family that it
Exactly.
truly, truly is a blessing. And you
Yes, it
carry
is.
on his work, and the Lynn Collins's work, and some of the other girls, Vicky, that is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I applaud you for what you're
Well,
doing.
thank
I
you.
do applaud you.
Thank you.
I applaud you.
Now, Ali and Resto and Drew and oh gosh,
The professor.
Professor.
Professor. We are, when I say we, Martha High's Funky Divas, along with Fred Wesley and the New JBs, we are performing in Philadelphia in October. Wait a minute, no, November the 2nd.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, we're performing there. So you do have a chance to come out to see us. And I hope that all of you will venture out to see us.
Well,
Where
I
We're
is
know
it?
showing
Drew.
at the
I know
City
that.
City Winery.
City
Yes.
Winery.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I was going to say I know that Drew has that information, because he's an expert when it comes to where people are playing and what. But
Oh,
we would love to come as a group to see you. We really would.
oh, please. I would
Yes,
love for you to be
absolutely.
there. And
Okay,
so we should be able to make some arrangements for that.
that sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds
Let's
Yeah.
good.
do it.
Yeah.
That sounds
Okay.
good. That sounds
Yes.
really good. November the 2nd at the City Winery. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that, and you and I will talk about that, and we'll get everything set
Sure.
up for
Okay.
the group. Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome. How is it? How is it? I'm gonna jump back out of here in a few minutes. How is it that you continue to exert so much energy on the stage, you and the Funky Divas, that you do? I equate you, because I don't have another example to do it, to Tina Turner. Everybody knows Tina Turner was like, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I point to you as that. How do you do that? How do you continue to do that?
Well, when you love what you're doing, and you've been blessed to have a voice to do what you love to do, and you just keep on pushing forward. And I enjoy the music. When I get on stage, I don't know, it just something else happens. Something else happens. when I get off the stage, when I come off the stage, it's a different thing. But I don't know. I think my energy just I'm overwhelmed, and I'm happy, and I feel good. And the audience, the audience is always in smiles and everything, and it means so much to me
Okay.
to for the audience to enjoy what we're doing.
Well,
You
they seem
know,
to be enjoying. They seem to be enjoying. Come on in, Drew.
so
Okay. Uh, you live in Europe now, so obviously you love it over there. We always talk about the differences between European audience and American audience. Can you share some of your experience as to why you've lived in Europe that long? Is apparently, it's more lucrative over there for you. It's better living. Could you talk about that?
well, yes, and now as far as performance are concerned, even when I was with Mr. Brown and Mr. Parker, we worked a lot in Europe, and
Okay.
I think it's because I have noticed that the audience that we have in Europe, they know everything about our music. They love our music, and it's just amazing to see how they keep up with everything. They know that I've had some people to approach me and tell me about a song that I recorded in 1966 or 64 or something that I have even forgotten myself,
Right,
But
right.
they are very knowledgeable in the music, and they enjoy the soul music. It's just amazing. They have a lot of tribute bands over here that the Earth, Wind, and Fire. Um, who else? Earth, Wind, and Fire.
You mean over here?
Over here in
Okay.
Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
We have
lot
a
of
lot of
tribute
people.
bands over here. Prince, it's a tribute to Prince band, and just so many of us, American
So
that
they
they
obviously love our music. They obviously
yes,
love our music
they
and they
love our
love you.
music, and it's a good feeling. Now in the States, it's totally different. I, I as a solo artist, before I started working with Fred Wesley in the States, I can only say that I did a solo work as a solo artist. I've only performed in the States twice.
Wow,
Mm,
really? Wow.
that's not
Yeah,
enough.
as a solo artist, and it's really strange, And I mean, I have albums and everything like that, and most of my sales of albums are over here. I recorded most of my albums out of the States. I only recorded my very first album with Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown produced it with Salsoul Records, Martha High, live with Salsoul Records. And also my first album that I produced myself, It's High Time.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
that, yeah. Oh, yes. Let me change that. One more. I did my last funk album 4 or 5 years ago in California. I
Okay.
got my senses back. Yeah. But
Okay.
all of the rest of my albums I have recorded in Italy and
Oh, wow.
France
Okay.
and here in the Netherlands. And it's just, um, it's an honor for me that the bands that I have recorded with and the producers, it's an honor for me for them to even ask me, and tell me they'd like to record with me and everything, and I just really appreciate it. I'm very grateful, and thankful that this has happened and everything. So it's been a great experience. I love working over here. I really do.
Okay.
I really do.
Okay. Good question, Drew. Good question.
Yes.
Yeah, let me just say this real quickly, and I'm gonna jump onto Restful Spirit. This show is designed for the information that you're giving. not only to meet you and talk to you. Your records are going to be your records regardless. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? They're going to
Yes.
sell everywhere they sell, and they sell. That's it. But it's the stories behind the, you know what I'm saying, that we
Yes.
are interested in. That, like I said, the story you take about Mr. James, and you do a great impression of James Brown. You need to continue that.
Yeah.
Come on in,
Love it.
Professor. Come on in, Professor.
Okay. What would you consider your favorite song on your playlist?
Oh, good question. Good question.
My favorite song. There's many, but you just want one.
Two, three.
You know what? I'm still in love uh, with Mr. Brown's song "Prisoner of Love."
Oh man,
That
great
has been my
song.
Wow.
Great song. Great song.
"Prisoner of Love" is just a song that I'm just crazy about. That's one of my favorite, my all time favorite. "Prisoner of
Great
Love."
song. Great song. Great
I'm
song.
I'm also a big fan of Chaka Khan. I love her. Once you get started, and her version of I'm Every Woman.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I Aretha Franklin, of course, she was the utmost of everything. She's just, yeah, and she did a song called "The Rose."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
That
yeah.
that's an
Yeah.
odd one. That's an odd
Oh,
one. Yeah.
that's a beautiful one too.
Yeah.
Didn't get a
Yeah,
Good.
lot of play, but it should have.
it should have. It really should have. Yes, and she was just
Wow.
amazing. Yeah.
Good
So
question, Professor. Good question. Come on in. Come on in, Russell Spirit.
Hi, yes. Miss Martha, I want to talk about your song Opportunity that you
Mhm.
sang. It was what was it, 64 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart.
Yes.
Now you
Yes.
revisit that song with the Tighten Ups.
I sure
What
did. Go ahead.
what I'm sorry, what inspired you to revisit Opportunity after so many years? And did you feel differently about the song's message when you re-recorded it compared to when you first sang it with the Jewels?
Wow.
Well, I was very, very proud to
I love
sing
the
that song
song.
at the time. And it was a surprise to me because the band that I was with, that I did the show with, they actually asked me when we started rehearsing for the show, would I do Opportunity? And I was shocked. This is a band that was from Madrid, Italy. And I said, "What did you say? What did you ask me?" He said, "Would you do Opportunity?" I said, "You know Opportunity?" He said, "I love Opportunity."
Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I
That's
said, "Oh
awesome.
my gosh." And I said, "I would love to. I would love to, because you know what? I had not sang Opportunity since I left the Jewels.
Jules,
Oh
yeah.
wow.
I
Okay.
had not one time sang Opportunity since I left the Jewels, and that was in 1966 when 1960, end of 1966, when they left Mr. Brown. And of course, I'm constantly in touch with Grace and Sandra, and we lost Marjorie Clark about 4 years ago.
Okay.
But Grace and Sandra and I are still in touch with each other. They had their 45th anniversary. Well, it's been a while back, maybe about 20 years ago. And I was in town. I was in Washington D.C. when they had the anniversary, and I went to the show, to their celebration. And I sat there, they knew I was there. I sat there and I was waiting for them to call. And I said, well, maybe I'll do Opportunity or Loaded with Goodies or Johnny Jealousy or something like that with them.
Right.
But they didn't call me up on the stage for either one of the songs.
Wow. Wow.
But they called me up and we did Funky Good Time, Doing It to Death.
Okay.
Doing it today.
But I wanted to sing one of the songs with the Jewels, but we didn't. But the beautiful thing about it is that when I come, when I'm hoping that they will come to the shows in Philadelphia, because I'm surely going to have them on the stage.
All right. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, I know you don't know it because this is your first time meeting us, but I can tell you right now that we do a nice background work. All three of us. We'll be up. We're ready. We're ready. We're doing nice background work. But you know what? We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later. I want you to tell me about 1979, the Ding Dong Man. Tell me about that song.
I wish Mr. Brown was here, but he could tell you about that song. That song, boy, wow. That song was on my album that Mr. Brown produced.
Right.
And I tell you, I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for the entire album. When he called me, I was living in Virginia at that time, and he called me and said, I'm sending you a ticket. Would you come to Atlanta to recording session? I said, yes, sir. Okay, I'll be there. So I got myself together. So I'm thinking, I said, okay, well, I'm going to, he evidently is going into the studio, so I have to do some background work. Okay, fine, no problem. So I get to Atlanta, and his MC, Danny Ray, met me at the airport, and we drove into town, and he said, yeah, this is going to be a real nice session. And I said, oh, okay, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. He never said anything else other than that, So when we got into the studio, there were two gentlemen there waiting, and he said, okay, so we got these songs, and we're gonna get together and record these songs. And I said, okay, well, where's Mr. Brown? And he said, oh no, Mr. Brown is not going to be here. And I said, what do you mean? I said, I thought I was coming here to do some background. The other ladies are not. And he said, no, this is your session. And I was like, what? What do you mean by that? And he said, this is your session, your recording session. And I said, no, it can't be. I said, I don't know the songs. What are you talking about? No one sent me any songs. I don't know what you did. And I'm telling you, it was one of the most disappointing time of my life, because I had to record that album that day.
Yeah.
And I was very hurt. And at first I refused to do it. And Mr. Danny Ray, Mr. Brown's MC, called Mr. Brown on the phone and told him, well, she's crying and she refused to do the album. And so he had me he had Danny to put me on the phone. And I said, yes, sir. And he said, you gotta do this. You gotta do it. You do it now and now. This is your dance, Miss High. And I was like, Mr. Brown, I didn't know it. Miss High, you can do it. Just get in there and record it. I was like, okay, yes, sir. I was really hurt. But anyway, I did it.
Well,
I did it.
The result turned out positive.
Ding Dong Man, I said, what do I said, I'm not going to sing that song. I'm not singing Ding Dong Man. But to be honest, many people after the album was recorded told me that they like my Ding Dong Man. I was like, okay, all right, fine.
Yes.
But and I performed it at a lot of my shows over here, and it was well received.
Yeah,
well received.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. This
Oh,
this goes in line with several different artists that we all can name. The one that jumps out right away is Little Anthony. He hated
Uh-huh.
Shimmy Shimmy Cocoa Pop, but now that song is like the one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
The Shirelles, they hated Soldier Boy, but then that
Uh-huh.
turned out to be their biggest song. So there's quite a few of them that jumps right off into that. Um,
Yeah.
I was definitely waiting to get your reply on that one there. That happens to
Yeah.
be one of my favorites as well. Ding dong.
And you think about you listen to the music. It's a takeoff of Ring My Bell.
Yes, yes it is.
Mm.
Yes it is.
Mhm.
Yes it is. It sounds
Okay.
very close to it.
Yes, my
Yeah,
boss.
yeah, yeah. Drew, come on in.
Miss Martha, you sang on some of James Brown's most famous songs. You recorded The Payback, Doing
Yes.
It to Death, Body Heat, It's Hell.
Mhm.
I have all four of those albums. What
Oh, okay.
compelled you? What compelled you to leave James Brown to go with Maceo Parker and Fred Wesley, or did you guys leave at the same time? What was
No, no.
the
Maceo and Fred had left long before I did. Um, but my reasons for leaving, because I had, 30 years of my life with Mr. Brown. And a lot of times that he said that, Miss I, I'm get some girls and start a group with you, for you, and put you out on the road, do your own thing. Well, that never happened. And I said, okay, I've been here 30 years, and he's said that so many times, it's not going to happen.
Right,
So I think, at the age I am now, I just felt like I need to spread, how did it say, spread my wings, or spread my wings and see what I can do for myself.
right.
And I wanted to venture out and do something else. And that's what I did. I decided to leave.
Good question, Drew. Very good question, Drew. Very good. Russell, come on in. We're going to start our goodbyes.
Yes. Miss Martha, it was a pleasure meeting you. I did have another question about your lyrics. We were talking earlier about the lyrics of the songs having meanings.
Mhm.
And I wondered, was there any lyrics that resonated with your own life experiences?
Ooh, really good question.
Uh, yes. My album, It's High Time. I wrote most of the songs on that album, and one of the songs that I sang called "He Said She Said."
mm,
My youngest son wrote that song when he was in school, and
Mm,
it was basically all about the kids in school doing certain things and um, messing with pills and everything like that, and talking about each other. And it was, but well, he said, she said, and I lost both of my sons in 1995,
Oh, I'm
Oh,
and
sorry.
I still had the cassette tape that my son had given to me to listen to, and he had asked me at one time, Mother, when you go back out on the road, would you let Fred Wesley hear this song? Because my son played trombone as well,
Okay.
and he
oh.
wanted me to play it to Fred to see what he thought about it. And I said, okay. So I still had uh, the cassette tape, and I said, and I told my son when he presented it to me, I said, you know what, Omar, I said, well, if I ever get a chance to go into the studio to record my own album, we're going to do this together.
Wow, that's nice. That's nice.
And yeah, well, of course, I didn't record the album before that, but I had the cassette, and when I went into the studio, I changed some of the words. I changed some of the words, but I still kept the
Yeah.
concept of the song and everything. And I was able to have the engineer to add his voice in that song.
Oh, that's wonderful.
okay.
That's wonderful.
So
Nice
Great.
tribute.
that
Nice
that
tribute.
yes,
Nice
yes,
tribute.
that meant a lot
Good
to me. I
question
said,
there, Russell. Good question. Come on in, Professor. We're going to start closing out.
Well, I would like to say thank you so much for
Oh,
being here at this hour for
yes.
you, especially, especially. Um, it's been a pleasure, and I will not lie. I saw the Ding Dong Man thing on my research, and I have never heard it. When
Uh-huh.
I saw it, I thought of Wynoni Harris or somebody because they
Uh-huh.
Okay.
sang that
Yeah.
risque stuff. So I said,
Uh-huh.
"Ooh." I said, now I will definitely listen to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But thank you.
you're welcome. And I just want to say thank you all for having me, for inviting me. I have really enjoyed. I don't even feel like it's whatever time in the morning. I've enjoyed it so very much. I have really.
And
And
I hope
I'm gonna.
and
Mhm.
I hope and pray that we will get to see you November the 2nd.
I hope so. Please do.
And bring that juice with you, that
Yes,
young juice that
bring
you
your
be
bottle of
drinking.
water.
I wanted to let you all know that I have a book. I wrote a book about my experience and my life with the Godfather. So how I started singing and my 32 years with him.
Oh,
What's the name of
wow.
the book?
What's the
The
name of the
name
book?
of the name of the book is "He's a Funny Cat, Miss Hyde." That's the title, and it's you can get it from Amazon and Create Space. Uh,
Okay.
Okay.
And Mr. Brown was funny and didn't know it. He was very funny, really, really funny. And that's the book is basically about him not being a singer, but just being a human being, just being James Brown, being himself, and
Right.
the times that I had with him. Yes.
Okay. That's
Thank
interesting. Very, very interesting. Drew, you want to say your goodbyes? You
Yes, Ms. High.
want to
Thank
say
you
your
so
goodbyes?
very much for sharing your stories with us. Uh, God willing, I'll be meeting you November 2nd at City Winery. I'm looking forward to that and meet with you
Yes.
further. But thank you so
All
much
right.
for sharing your stories and alerting us to the book because I was not aware you had a book out. But
Yes,
Right.
I
Right.
I'll
do.
be checking
Yes.
that out as well. Thank you so much for being with
Okay.
us.
Thank you, Drew. Thank you. I enjoyed
Restful.
speaking with all of you.
You're
Restful.
welcome.
Yes. Again, thank you, Miss High, for joining us. I really appreciate you taking your time out. And again, you look fabulous. Not a day
Thank
over
you.
30.
Thank you. And
You look great.
it was indeed a pleasure
You
to
know what? What
have
you
a
just said with that
conversation with all of
restful,
you.
we got tickets to get in backstage now.
Hey,
Okay.
hey.
I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there, God willing. I'm looking forward to it.
So,
Okay.
Martha,
Wonderful.
I again, I want to piggyback on what everybody else said by thanking you for coming. We've had some times where I've called you 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I apologize for that. But as
That's
I
okay.
said to you and we had conversations, we're used to those hours anyway. We're
Yes,
definitely
absolutely. Absolutely.
now. One quick question: will Rob be coming with you when you come on the second, or no?
No, he's not traveling with me. It's just it's sometimes he's out on the road with me, but not all the time. No.
Okay,
He's-
I just asked because I would love to shake his hand. Would love to shake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, this is the first time we've ever had a podcast and a naked man came on before you did. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, well, I
I
would just
said,
like to shake his hand. That's all.
do you realize you don't have your shirt on? He said, I know, don't say anything. I said, oh my God. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Well, I
you told him not to,
apologize for that.
he said not to say anything like we wasn't going to notice, really?
Big difference, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
Well, again, my dear, we thank you and looking forward. We're gonna rally, and I'm gonna talk to you a little bit later about the
Okay.
possibility of coming on the November the 2nd, and we'll be talking because maybe we need to do this again because we've only scratched the surface. You've got so
Yes.
many stories and so much stuff inside of you that we'd like to know and like to be shared that we very well may do this again. But I
Okay.
thank you.
All
I
right.
thank you. I
I would
thank you.
love to. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. I enjoyed it.
Okay,
Mhm.
ladies and
Great.
gentlemen, you've been listening to the goddess of soul. I'll say it again because y'all you don't believe what I'm saying, but she is the goddess of soul, Miss Martha High. And please Stay tuned for my radio show coming up at 10 o'clock from 10 until 2 on WPPM 106.5 FM or phillycam.org/listen. This week coming up, Wednesday, on my TV show Salt, Pepper, and Memories, will be one of my birthday parties featuring the Ebonies out of Chester, Pennsylvania. Thursday night, rememberthenradio.com from 8 until 12. Great music that you might want to consider doing the angle with. I'm just telling you right now, and that's all I would say. Next Friday, are you ready for this, baby? Next Friday, I will be live in the studio doing my birthday party, all request birthday party. But before we get there, the podcast will be, are you ready? Are you ready? Drum roll. It will be Bloodstone. So be sure to tune in. Bloodstone will be joining us on the podcast next Friday. And then, of course, right after that, we'll do the live birthday party at the studio. Everybody have a great weekend. Be safe. Martha, we love you. Tell your husband.
Bless you all. God bless you all. Thank you.
And we will talk to everybody soon. Good night, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Let me get my music in the air so we can go out. All right.
Okay. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, dear. Take care now.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Love you.